Alright, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys realistically the only way you should be recording your songs in FL Studio. So I'm going to go over two different ways you could actually record vocals in FL Studio. One way being what I commonly see, which I think is an issue and just the wrong way of actually recording in FL Studio. And then I'm going to show you my way, which I think is by far a way superior way to record vocals. It makes it easier to understand where your vocals are routed to, where everything's going, and it makes it easier to mix them. So let's just jump right into this video. I have FL Studio loaded up right here, and I'm going to show you guys the normal way that I always see people do. Let me throw my headphones on, and this is usually how most people will go to record. You drag your beat in from wherever you got it. So you'd set your BPM for the song, which is 140. You might trim off that silence in the beginning, and then this should be pretty much on. I'd have to drag that over a little bit. All right, that sounds good. Then you go to your mixer and you just drag in your preset, right? Then once your preset's loaded, you'd probably change your auto tune to the key of the song, A minor, and then you'd click this button and set your input. Then you could hear yourself usually, and then you'd probably just start recording.
Yeah. You can't talk to me like that, yeah. If I'm moving, then I'm fast, yeah. Skirt that GLE is quiet, yeah.
And then if you wanted to keep recording, you just go to the next spot and click R again.
You don't keep this, you don't keep this, bitch, you can keep that, I don't wanna talk back, bitch, okay.
And this is usually like a normal way to record, but let's restart. And now we're gonna go to my way, which I think is just the more organized and just better way to record overall. It'll just help out in the end. It takes a little bit of setup, so it might not be as quick right off the bat, but believe me, it'll work out way better in the end. So first thing you're gonna do is drag in your beat, but we're gonna do that a different way. So I'm gonna go to my downloads and we're gonna drag it over the track header where it says track 1. And it's gonna bring this up. We're gonna click audio tracks. And what this is gonna do, it's gonna route this playlist track to this mixer right here. And it automatically routed it to insert number 2. We're going to click Alt left arrow to drag that over to insert number 1, just for organizational purposes. And now the second part is pretty much the same thing you would do when you're going to record. Just go and drag in your preset. So I'm going to grab the lifestyle preset. This is by far my favorite preset out right now. We're just going to drag it in. But now with this preset, if you download it, it does have a reverb bus, a delay bus, a high pitch bus, and a low pitch. And what I like to do, common practice in FL Studio, I think everyone should do this, is use your buses like docked over to the right or left. So I'm going to select all these. I'm going to right click and go dock to the right. And as you can see, they're docked over here. So that'll just leave room for us to duplicate these tracks over if we wanted to add like a different verse or different hook. And also on your main preset, you're going to have to actually attach these buses. So you click your main preset and then you shift click these buttons down here. And then you control the amount of reverb, delay, high pitch, or low pitch with this knob right here, and vice versa for these ones. But we don't stop there yet. Now what you want to do is right click your main preset and just click the letter A on your keyboard, and then do this for the ad-libs as well. Boom. And now in the playlist, you can see that these tracks are actually linked. These playlist tracks are linked to your mixer track. So basically what that does, any audio file that you drag into this playlist track right here, just like that, now this beat is automatically routed to track 2. And it works the same for the beat track 2. If we click F2 on this beat track and just name it beat, if we drag this back up, you can see it's linked to mixer track number 1 now. And let's trim that silence in the beginning and just make sure this is actually on time. It's a little bit off, so I'm going to click S on my keyboard, hold Alt, and then right or left click and drag, just so that kick is right on the actual hit. Now let me talk about the plus sides to actually linking the playlist tracks to the mixer. So one of the things that's nice is when you're recording in the playlist track, this is usually where you want to stay. So you could just enable this and use all of the buttons right here to actually mess with your recording. So we could set input 1. Now we can hear ourselves, but if we click this red button, we won't be able to hear ourselves anymore. And you control that with this right here. Make sure you have when armed, and that'll make sure that when you actually click this arm button, you can hear yourself. And then also make sure you're recording with external input only. What this is going to do is when you're recording, you could either choose to record with all of these effects on your actual audio file or off. And basically what that means is it's going to record your audio into the playlist with none of those effects on, so later you could go around and adjust the file if you needed to. Also, a cool part with recording on a track in the playlist that's linked to the mixer is if we record, and then record again, you can see that it groups the track automatically for you, so you don't have to go around and mess with that. All right, so let's actually go through and show you the process of recording like this. So I'm going to set my auto tune to, it's A minor, I believe, and then we're just going to add some reverb and delay. A little bit of the high pitch, a little bit of the low pitch. Then we're just going to enable our mic.
Yeah.
Then we can just start recording.
I had to go the right way. Yeah. Bitch, Bitch, I'm swerving on the highway. Yeah. I took a perky, it's my way. I'm on the drugs in the club and I'm fucking around like I gotta go get it again.
Alright, I want a little more delay. Add that up here. And then we're gonna go to the ad-lib track and also set it to A minor. Then I'm gonna disarm this track. Set my input on the ad-lib. And then click the arm button so we can actually hear ourselves. Then we have to add all of the buses. So let's get some reverb. Yeah. Yeah. I was a fucking.
Yeah. I had to go the right way. Yeah. Bitch, I'm swerving on the highway. Yeah. I took a perky, it's my way. I'm on the drugs in the club and I'm fucking around like I gotta go get it again.
Then if we want to switch back over to the verse, just go record again, click R on our keyboard.
Fucking around like I gotta go get it again. Yeah. I didn't think that this would happen like that, like this. No way. Yeah. Fucking around like I.
And then back to the end.
Like I gotta go get it again. Yeah. I didn't think that this would happen like that, like this. No way.
Alright, so that's pretty much it for the recording process. I'm going to keep this video short and sweet, but I want to show you guys the last thing that's really good about recording this way. So say you wanted to go in and change your preset. If you go in and change this track and adjust anything, it's automatically linked here. So anything you do to this preset will adjust these files. And for example, say you accidentally recorded on the ad-lib track, you could just drag it up here and it'll automatically change to that track. So yeah, I recommend you guys switch your way to recording to this way. It's definitely one of the best methods in my opinion. I think FL Studio is actually great for recording. That's all I got for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.